Hello everyone! Welcome back to our Math Teachr YouTube channel. At kung di ka pa nakakapag-subscribe, mag-subscribe na para updated kayo sa ating weekly lesson. And for today's video, we're going to discuss week number 2 for the 4th quarter, which is all about applies theorem on triangle inequalities to determine possible measures for the angles and sides of a triangles and proves inequalities in a triangle. Are you ready for this lesson? Alright, let's go! The concepts and skills previously learned from Learner's Packet Week 1, which we already discussed last week, will be useful in learning this Learner's Packet Week number 2, which will focus on developing, verifying, and proving the theorems on inequalities in triangles. Remember to answer the essential question, how can you justify inequalities in triangles? Okay, so these are all the inequality theorems that we already discussed on Learner's Packet Week number 1. So we are just going to add some more information. We are going to deepen the understanding about this inequality theorem. So let us have the first one, the exterior angle inequality theorem. So the exterior angle inequality theorem states that the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is greater than the measure of either of the two remote interior angles. So alam naman natin na exterior angles ay yung angle na na-form outside the triangle by extending one of the side of a triangle. At ang remote interior niya are the two interior angles na malayo dun sa exterior angle na na-form. Okay? So let us have an example. So take a look at this one. You're just going to fill in the blank to complete and make the statement through inequality statements. So we have here the figure. Given if measure of angle C, so we have here the measure of angle C. Okay. So this is angle C, no? The measure of angle C is 40 and the measure of angle D, so this is angle D, that is 29. Then measure of angle A is blank. So as we analyze the given figure, angle A is an exterior angle. And based from our definition of exterior angle, the measure of exterior angle of a triangle is greater than the measure of either. So meaning to say, the measure of this angle A can be greater than the measure of angle C, no? And we can say also that the measure of angle A can be greater than the measure of angle D, which is 29. So we can say that the measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle C, the measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle D. Therefore, what will be our answer in the given statement? So angle A is the exterior angle and angle C and angle D are its remote interior angle. So the answer, if measure of angle C is equal to 40 and the measure of angle D is equal to 29, then we can say that the measure of angle A is greater than 40. So yung measure nitong angle A ay dapat mas mataas sa 40 because that is the highest measure of the remote interior. Kasi sabi nga, ang measure daw ng angle A ay greater than either its two remote interior angles. Kapag ang sinagot nyo dyan is greater than 29 lang, so magkakaroon kayo ng conflict dun sa answer kasi meron tayong angle C which is 40. So kung 29 lang at ang naging measure ng angle A is 30, mali yung sagot natin kasi yung 30 is less than 40. Eh dapat ang exterior angle ay palaging mas mataas sa two remote interior, no? Either two remote interior angles. So that mas mataas sa angle C at mas mataas sa angle D. So dahil ang mas mataas measure dito ay angle C which is 40, so we can say that yung measure ni angle A is greater than 40, no? Okay, so it can be 41 and so on. But what do you think is the exact measure of angle A according to our third quarter lesson? Ano sa tingin nyo measure ni angle A? So the measure of angle A is 69. That is based from the measure of the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. So, yan ay yung laging lesson natin ng third quarter, equality of triangle. Okay? So, the correct answer here, the measure of angle A is greater than 40. Okay, let us have another example of exterior angle inequality theorem. So, fill in the blank, the complete true inequality statement. So, we have your letter B. If measure of angle B is equal to 54, and measure of angle D is equal to 38, then measure of angle A is equal to blank. So this is our angle B, 54, and angle D is 38. Now take a look at the relationship. So angle A is our exterior angle, and it must be greater than angle B, which is a remote interior. No? So measure of angle A must be greater than the measure of angle B. Now the relationship of angle D and angle A, they are linear pair. So if they form a linear pair, they are supplementary. Their sum is equal to 180 degrees, and obviously the measure of angle A is also greater than the measure of angle D, since angle D is 38. So mas malaki na kagad ang measure ni angle A. But we have here a missing angle, which is angle C. So how are we going to find the measure of angle A if one of its remote is missing? So the correct answer here, if measure of angle B is 54 and measure of angle D is 38, so we just add the 2, 54 plus 38, that is 92, meaning to say the measure of angle A must be greater than 92 degrees. Dapat mas mataas dun sa dalawa, no? Okay, so that is the answer in our second example. Next, the triangle inequality theorem. So in any triangle, the sum of the length of any two of its sides is greater than the length of its third side. So, sa triangle daw, yung sum daw ng dalawang side, pag pinag-add mo, no, yung sa sum nun, ay dapat palaging mas mataas dun sa natitirang side. No? So, example, a triangle has two sides that are 6 centimeters and 15 centimeters. Ayan. So, 6 and 15 in length respectively. Uno, no, si Uno says that the third side could be 10 centimeter. Pero si Vince naman says that it could not be 10 centimeter but it could be 7 centimeter. Who do you think is correct and why? Si Uno ba na ang third side daw ay dapat 10 centimeter? Or si Vince na dapat daw ang third side ay 7 centimeters? Bakit? Again, kailangan natin dito nitong theorem na to, which is in any triangle, the sum of the length of any of its side is greater than the length of its third side. So, tingnan natin kung sino ba ang tama, si Uno ba o si Vince. Okay, solution. So, ito yung kay Uno, no? Says that the third side could be 10. So, again, based from our theorem, kailangan i-add natin yung dalawang side at dapat greater than ito do sa natitirang side. So, kay Uno, ang kanyang mga side ay 6, 15, at saka yung sabi niya na 10. So, unahin muna natin si 6 plus 15. So, that is 21. And 21 is greater than 10. So, that is a check. Tama, no? 21 is greater than 10. The second one, i-rumble naman natin. Ang i-add naman natin yung 6, tsaka yung isang side na binigay ni Uno na 10. So, 6 plus 10 is equal to 16, and 16 is greater than 15, so that is check. And then i-rumble uli natin, so ang i-combine naman natin ay yung 10 tsaka 15, so ang natirang side ay 6, so 10 plus 15 is 25, and 25 is greater than 6. So lahat ng sides, pag ni-rumble natin, ay nagiging true yung statement base dun sa theorem, which is the sum of the length of the two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Therefore, we can say that 6 cm, 10 centimeters, and 15 centimeters can be, no? It can be the side of a triangle. So, tama yung kay Uno. Ay, wait. How about yung kay Vince? No? So, pwede rin kayang maging side ang 7 cm kung ang measure ng dalawa ay 6 at 15. So, gawin din natin yung ginawa natin dun kay Uno. So, irarambol natin, i-add natin ang dalawang side at dapat greater than sa natitirang side. So, unahin natin yung 6 at 15. So, 6 plus 15 equals 21. At ang natitirang side ay 7. So, is it greater than 7? Correct. Next, irambol naman natin. Ang i-add naman natin ay si 6 at saka si 7. Ang natirang side ay yung 15. So, 6 plus 7, 13. Is 13 greater than 15? Okay. So, in this case, mali, no? Kasi ang 13 ay hindi naman mas mataas sa 15. So, dun pa lang sa statement letter B, sa solution natin sa letter B, ay hindi na siya nagsasatisfy dun sa ating theorem, no? Bakit? Kasi nga, dapat daw yung dalawang length ng triangle, ng side ng triangle, dapat ay mas mataas sa natitirang side. Eh, kapag ina-add natin yung 6 at 7, ang sagot ay 13, hindi siya mas mataas dun sa natitirang side na 15. So, therefore, ayan, hence 6 cm, 7 cm, and 15 cm cannot be the length of the sides of a triangle. Hindi siya pwede. So, alin ang tumama? Si Vince o si Uno? Okay, very good. So, ang tumama ay si Uno. Next, another example of this triangle inequality theorem. Given triangle ABC. So, imagine nyo may triangle ABC. Ang measure ng side AB ay 12 cm. Ang measure ng side BC ay 17 cm. What is the range values of side AC? Pag sinabing range, ito yung hanggang ano yung mga possible values na pwedeng maging measure ni side AC. Na? Ano yung mga pwedeng maging measure? So, take a look at the solution step by step. So, for step 1, kukunin natin yung sum nung dalawang side, which is 12 plus 17 is 29. Na? So, ibig sabihin, na, yung side AC must be less than 29. Kasi ang sabi doon sa ating theorem, the sum of the two sides must be greater than. So, kung ang side nung natitirang AC ay mas mataas pa sa 29, mamamali na yung ating inequality. So, dapat daw, yung side AC must be less than, mas mababa sa 29. Para yung 12 plus 17, 29, greater than, mas mababa siya sa 29. Okay? Step 2. By triangle inequality theorem, 12 plus side AC is greater than 17. No? This implies that yung side AC ay greater than 5. Na? Ibig sabihin daw, yung 12 plus i-add mo yung side AC, dapat greater than 17. Kasi nga, ang ini-add na natin dito yung side AC. Na? Dapat greater than 17. Nirambol na natin yung mga numbers. Eh, dahil nga hindi pa natin alam ang measure ni AC, so AC muna siya. Now, by transposing 12 to the right side, magiging siyang 17 minus 12. So, magiging result nun, side AC is greater than 5. So, dapat daw mas mataas sa 5. Okay? And then, step number 3, pag narambol uli natin yung tatlo, so maging 17 plus side AC is greater than 12. Na? So, napapunta naman dito sa right side ay yung 12. Kanina, 17. And then, by transposing 17 to the right side, magiging siyang 12 minus 17. So, negative 5. Wala naman tayong measure ng side na negative. So, this is not possible. So, ang possible numbers lang na nakuha natin ay yung 29 at saka yung 5. So, ang tanong ay range. Ibig sabihin, ano yung mga possible measure ng ating side AC? So, from step 1 no, and step 2, nakakuha tayo ng 29. No, at ang 29 dapat ang pinaka mataas na. Ang measure dapat ng side AC ay less than 29. No, at ang measure ng side AC ay greater than 5. So, simply, the answer will be 17 minus 12, galing siya sa ating step number 2, no? Is less than side AC, and side AC must be less than 12 plus 17. So, what does it mean? Yung side AC ay dapat greater than 5, at yung side AC ay dapat less than 29. So, ano-ano yung mga possible values ng side AC? So, dahil greater than 5 siya, pwede dyan ang 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hanggang 28. Ayan po. So, yan yung mga possible na measure ng ating side AC. Okay? So, this means that any real number greater than 5 but less than 29 can be the length of the triangle's third side. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, from it must be greater than 5, so pwede ang 6, and must be less than 29, so hanggang 28. Okay? Next, the Hinge Theorem. So, the Hinge Theorem, if two sides of a triangle are congruent to two sides of a second triangle, and the included angle of the first triangle has a greater measure than the included angle of the second triangle, then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second triangle. So, mas maganda siya kung mayroon tayong figure. Okay, so example, in relation with the Hinge Theorem. So, take a look at the figure. Which car is farther away from the mall? So, pakita natin yung mall. Ayan, nasa gitna yung mall. No? This is our mall. At this point, yung nasa gitna. And we have your car A and car B. So, yung mall, no? Ang question is, which car is farther? Alin yung mas malayong car? Is it car A or car B? So, if we are going to analyze, from this point, going up, ito ay 5 miles papunta rito. Then, yung isa naman, from this point, going down, is also 5 miles. Ibig sabihin, itong point na to, tsaka yung point na yon equal, no? So, pwede natin lagyan ng mark. Ibig sabihin, ito, side na to, ay equal dito. Okay? And then, we also have here, from this point, no? Going to car B, 3 miles. Which is equal to this point, no? Kung saan nag-stop yung 5 miles natin, going to car A, is also 3 miles. So, what did you notice? Very good. Yung two sides ng dalawang triangle ay congruent. But, so itong pa-slant na to, from this mall going to car A, ito yung distance ni car A. And from the mall going to car B, ito yung distance ni car B. So, kung titingnan nyo lang yung figure, para silang equal. But, take a look at this one. Etong angle na to is 100 degrees. Ito yung ang katapat ng distance ni car B, na? From the mall. So, ang katapat niya ay 100 degrees yung pagkaka-open ng angle. While on the other side, ito namang from the mall going to car A, ang katapat niyang angle ay 90 degrees. So, alin ba yung mas malaking measure na angle? Is it 90 or 100? Very good, 100. Ibig sabihin, kung 100 degrees yan, yung katapat niyan, mas mahaba yung buka. Compared dun sa 90 degrees, yung katapat niyang side ay mas maliit lang buka. So, that is the Hinge Theorem. Okay, balik tayo dun sa tanong. Alin mas malayo? Car A or car B? So, the correct answer is, ayan. So, since 100 degrees is greater than 90, car B is farther. Mas malayo si car B kaysa kay car A. Bakit? Kasi nga, yung 100 degrees ay mas malaki compare sa 90. So, ibig sabihin, yung katapat niyang distance, no, yung side na yon ay mas mahaba compare dito sa distance na to. Okay? That is the Hinge Theorem. Another example. So, given the figure, determine the range of values of x. Okay, so ito na naman yung range. Again, pag sinabing range, ano yung mga pwedeng measure? No? Yung sakop niya. Hindi lang isa ang sagot yan. What are the possible values? So, take a look at the two triangle POE and triangle TRY. So, yung side PO, itong may mark na to, congruent kay TR. And then, yung side PE, congruent kay TY. But, yung kanilang angle na included, mas malaki yung angle P compare kay angle T. So, dun pa lang, alam mo na kung alin ang greater than, na? Ibig sabihin, dyan pa lang sa figure na yan, alam mo na mas mahaba yung OE compare kay RY. Mas mahaba si OE. Bakit? Kasi nga, 64 degrees yung katapat niyang angle. Mas malaki ang opening compare kay 35 na mas maliit ang opening. So, based from that, we can form an equation or an inequality. So, applying the Hinge Theorem, no, you can say that x plus 7, balikan natin yung, ayan, x plus 7 is greater than 2x minus 5. Balikan natin yan. So, x plus 7 is greater than 2x minus 5. Ito na yung ating inequality. And then, by solution, so, we transpose x to the right side and then negative 5 to the left side. So, 7 plus 5 na yon. And then 2x minus x, magiging na lang x. So we have 12 is greater than x. Kailangan identify natin, we are solving for x. So by symmetric property, we symmetric, no? Pagbabalik rin natin yung pwesto. So x is less than 12. Kasi nga, 12 daw ay mas mataas sa x. Ibig sabihin, yung x ay mas mababa sa 12. Okay? But, ang problem natin is determine the range. So, ano yung range ng ating x? So, by solving, kuha tayo ng isang inequality which is 2x minus 5 and 2x minus 5 must be greater than 0. Bakit? Kasi wala naman tayong negative na measure ng side. So, ang measure ng isang side ay greater than 0. And then, by solving, so 2x over 2 is greater than 5 over 2. No? Nag-transpose tayo rito. Yung negative 5 nilipat natin, kaya naging positive 5. And then, dinivide natin by 2 para makancel dito yung 2. Ayan. So, based from that, nakancel yung 2, natin lang x. So, x is greater than 5 over 2. So, therefore, we can say that ang value ng x ay dapat mas mataas sa 5 over 2 at mas mababa naman sa 12. So, we have here the range. The range is 5 over 2 less than x less than 12. Or in short, x must be greater than 5 over 2 but less than 12. So, pwede ba ro ng 11? Pwede. 10, 9, 8. So, kapag ini-convert natin ng 5 over 2 sa decimal ay 2.5. Tama ba? No? Yes, 2.5. So, ibig sabihin pwede siya ang 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, those are the range. No? Yun yung mga possible values na pwedeng maging side or value ni x. Okay? Proving. So, let us have a sample proving triangle inequality theorem or the SS to AA, the side angle inequality theorem. If one side of a triangle is longer than the second side, then the angle opposite the first side is larger than the angle opposite the second side. Ayan. So, na-discuss na natin yan last week. Mag-sample lang tayo ng proving. Although, medyo mas mahaba to compared to sa ating third quarter proving, na. Pero ganun lang rin. So, given triangle MAN, ito si triangle MAN, and side AN, ito, is greater than, AN is greater than side AM. Okay? So, prove. So, on the second figure, nag-draw tayo ng MI, na. Segment MI para makakreate tayo ng AM is congruent to AI. Ayan. Para magkaroon tayo ng comparison ng two triangles. Okay, so we have AM is congruent to AI. So that is by construction. Nag-construct tayo. Na? So triangle AIM, ito yung nasa taas. No? AIM, ito yung AIM. Ayan. Triangle AIM is an isosceles triangle kasi nga yung two sides niya ay congruent. So if triangle AIM is an isosceles triangle, we can say that angle 1, ito yung angle 1, is congruent to angle 2. So, the base angle of an isosceles triangle are congruent. Ito yung angle 1, ayan. Ito naman si angle 2. Okay? Galing siya sa by construction kanina. Then, angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to angle AMN. Ito yung malaking angle na to. Ayan. That is angle addition postulate. Nag-add tayo ng 2 angles is equal to bigger angle. Then, angle AMN is greater than angle 1. Yes, obviously. Kasi nga, angle 2 plus angle 1 plus angle 3, no? So, greater than yung AMN, itong malaki na to, sa angle 1. That is property of equality. And then, we have angle AMN is greater than angle 2. O kasi nga, yung angle 1 congruent kay angle 2. So, by substitution, palitan mo lang yung angle 1 ng angle 2, ganon rin yun. So, nanggaling statement na yon sa statement number 3. Okay, so that is substitution property. Next, the measure of angle MIN, ito yon, yan, ito, yan, MIN, plus the measure of angle N, okay, itong angle N, yan, plus the measure of angle 3, ayan, is equal to 180. So, yun yung tatlong angle nitong triangle na nasa baba. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Then we have the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle MIN. Ito yung dalawa na to, ito yung magkatabi na yan, is equal to 180 degrees because they form a linear pair. So that is linear pair theorem. Next, the measure of angle MIN plus the measure of angle N plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle MIN. So, saan nanggaling yung statement 9? So, nanggaling siya sa statement 8. No, ito yun. Ayan. Ito. Yan. Ito yun. And then, statement 7. Itong mahaba na to. Ayan. Ito naman yun. So, bakit naging transitive? Kasi itong dalawa na to ay parehas equal sa 180 degrees. So, equal rin yung dalawa. So, next. Measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle N plus measure of angle 3. So, galing siya sa statement number 9. Tinanggal natin yung MIN. Yan ang natira. Kaya siya naging subtraction property. Okay? Next, the measure of angle 2 is greater than the measure of angle A and M. Oh, saan naman ang galing yung the measure of angle 2 is greater than the measure of angle A and M. That is exterior angle inequality theorem. No? One of its two remote interior angles. And then finally, we have the measure of angle AMN. Itong malaki na to is greater than the measure of angle A and M. Ayan. So that is from statement 6 and statement 11. Na? Yung statement 6, pinalitan natin yung angle 2, no, ng AMN, tapos at is na yung ANM. So kaya measure of angle AMN is greater than the measure of angle ANM. So that is by substitution property of inequality. So that is number 12. And finally, we are done with disproving. So medyo nakakalito siya kasi nagkaroon tayo ng by construction. But if you are going to follow step by step, no, kung bibigyan nyo ng deepened understanding yung ating proving, so mas mapuprove mo siya, mas masusundan mo siya. Okay? So, we have some sample proving on your learner's packet. I think may dalawa pa dyan. So, pwede nyo pag-aralan isa-isa. Although, wala naman kayong gagawin dyang task about proving, but you can study how to prove triangle inequality. Okay? So, this is it for our learning task number 1. Are you ready? So, you're just going to write the answer on your paper. So, for learning task number 1, use the figure at the right to complete the inequality statements. So, i-complete nyo lang to gamit yung figure na to. Okay? So, number 1, the measure of angle 1 is less than blank. And number 2, the measure of angle 4 is greater than blank. You have 1 minute to answer. Okay, time's up. Learning task number 1 pa rin, numbers 3, 4, and 5. Use the figure at the right to complete the inequality statements. So we have here, number 3, if the measure of angle 1 is equal to 53, and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 67, So then, the measure of angle 4 is greater than blank. Number 4, if the measure of angle 2 is equal to 100 and the measure of angle 3 is equal to 25, then the measure of angle 4 is equal to blank. And number 5, if the measure of angle 1 is equal to 55 and the measure of angle 3 is equal to 25, then the measure of angle 4 is greater than blank. Again, you have 1 minute to answer. Alright, time's up. Now, let us check your work. Okay, for learning task number 1, answer number 1, the correct answer, the measure of angle 1 is less than the measure of angle 4. Number 2, the measure of angle 4 is greater than the measure of angle 2 or the measure of angle 1. So, kahit alin dyan, pwede. Number 3, if the measure of angle 1 is equal to 53 and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 67, then the measure of angle 4 is greater than 67. So, dapat mas mataas siya dun sa 67 kasi yung dalawang ito, 1 and 2 ay remote interior na. Next, number 4, if the measure of angle 2 is equal to 100 and the measure of angle 3 is equal to 25, then the measure of angle 4 must be greater than 125. So, i-add mo lang yung 100 tsaka 25 kasi yung angle 3 ay kalinear pair ni angle 4. And finally, number 5, if the measure of angle 1 is equal to 55 and the measure of angle 3 is equal to 25, then the measure of angle 4 is greater than 80. So, 55, then i-add mo yung 25, dapat mas mataas yung angle 4 sa 80. No? 55 plus 25. Kasi yung angle 3 ay kanyang kalinear pair. So, hindi pwedeng greater than 55 lang. Kasi, hindi naman remote yung angle 3. Paano kung mas mataas pa yung measure nung isa pang remote sa 55, di ba? Okay, so that is the answer in our learning task number 1. Check your own work. And, let's proceed to our next learning task. Learning task number 2. Which of the following combination could be the three sides of a triangle? So choose the correct answer. For every question, this is for 1 minute only. So number 1, which of the following combination could be three sides of a triangle? 1 minute, go. The correct answer is letter C. Why? Because lahat ng measure na yan, pag nag-add ka ng dalawa ay magiging greater than sa natitirang side. Yung letter A hindi pwede kasi 6 plus 5, 11, greater than 11 yung natira. So mali yun. 1, 3, 5, hindi pwede kasi 1 plus 3 ay 4, hindi siya greater than 5. So mali na kagad doon. Yung letter D, 7 plus 7, 14, hindi rin siya greater than 14. So meron tayo dong pagkakamali. Pero dito sa letter C, lahat yan ay greater than 16 plus 5 greater than 20, 16 plus 20 greater than 5, and 20 plus 5 greater than 16. So that is number 1. Checkan nyo kung tama kayo. Next, number 2. For 1 minute, two sides of a triangle are 15 and 8. Which of the following cannot be the third side? Alin daw dyan ang hindi pwedeng third side? Go! The correct answer is 25. So, bakit hindi pwede ang 25? Kasi 15 plus 8, no? That is 23. Yung 25 ay greater than 23. So, sabi nga, the sum of the two sides must be greater than the third side. Yung third side mo 25, tapos yung two sides mo 23. So, hindi pwede na greater than yung natitirang side. So, ang hindi dyan pwede ay letter D. Next, number 3. Suppose two sides of a triangle both measures 4 units. O yung dalawang side daw, 4 tsaka 4 isosceles yan pag parehas ang measure. Which can be the possible measure? Alin daw yung mga pwede pang measure ng third side? Choose all the possible whole numbers. Piliin nyo dyan sa 0 to 10. Kung alin dyan yung mga pwedeng maging side ng third side. 1 minute. Go! Okay, time's up. So, the correct answer ay yan. So, ang mga pwede dyan ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yun yung mga numbers na pwede. Bakit hindi na pwede ang 8? Bakit? Kasi kung 4 units yung isa at 4 units yung isa, i-add mo 4 plus 4, 8. So, hindi siya greater than 8. Kaya, hindi siya nagsasatisfy do sa ating triangle inequality theorem. So, ang pwede lang doon ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bakit di kasali ang 0? Kasi wala naman tayong side na 0. Okay? Next. Number 4. Two sides of the triangle are 13 and 51. What is the range of the length of the third side. So, range ng length ng third side. 1 minute, go. Okay, times up. So the correct answer is letter C. So the third side must be greater than 38 but less than 64. Bakit? 51 plus 13. So that is 64. And then 51 minus 13. That is 38. Ibig sabihin, ang measure dapat ng third side ay mas mataas sa 38 pero mas mababa sa 64. So, ano-ano yon? Pwede siyang 39, 40, 41 hanggang 63. Yun ang range niya. Next. Question number 5. Two legs of a triangle are 7.3 and 17.2 respectively. Given the length of the third side is an integer, what is the largest possible length of the third side? Go, 1 minute. Okay, times up. So, again, apply lang natin yon. Ang pinag-usapan dyan ay yung largest length, yung pinakamataas. So, i-add natin 17.2 plus 7.3. So, that is 24.5. Na? So, kung 24.5 yan, yung largest possible, edit 24 letter D, hindi pwede ang 22. No? Kasi, may pwede pang mas mataas na measure kasi ang if we add the 2, 24.5. So, ibig sabihin, yung largest possible integer na magiging measure niya ay 24. Kasi ang 24 naman ay less than pa rin sa 24.5. Okay? Okay. Last learning task, number 3. So, applying the Hinge Theorem, you are going to solve for the possible value of x given the figure. So, we have here the figure. Ayan, ito ay 12, equal siya rito. Tapos ito ay equal. So, ito ay 30 degrees and this one is 38. So, kung 38 ito, ibig sabihin, yung 6 ay mas mataas sa 2x minus 4. So, if 2x minus 4 is less than 6, then we solve, transpose natin yung 4, 2x is less than 6 plus 4. So, 2x is less than 10, then divide both side by 2, we have x is less than 5. So, if x is less than 5, no, then kuha tayo ng measure ng isang side, ito lang naman yung may value ng x, so isolve natin to. Yung 2x minus 4 ay greater than 0. Syempre, dapat mas mataas sa 0 ang value nito. So, by solving, 2x is greater than 4, then divide both side by 2, so x is greater than 2. So, ibig sabihin, ang value ng x natin, yung x natin ay dapat mas mataas sa 2, pero mas mababa sa 5. Again, the value of x or the range of the value of x must be greater than 2, but less than 5. Ayun, ang sagot. Okay, so for your performance task, ito naman ay nasa learner's packet, no? So, pwede nyong gawin. So, materials needed, protractor, ruler, and paper. So, ito ay gagawin nyo at isasubmit sa teacher. So, replicate, ito gawin nyo lang to. I-drawing nyo to sa bond paper or sa papel. Yung una, parang ito ay 1 o'clock, and ito 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. Yan, orasan yan, no? Then, after that, you're going to complete the table. So, exact time sa letter A, 1 o'clock. Sa letter B, 2 o'clock. Letter C, 3 o'clock. At letter D, 4 o'clock. Then, i-measure nyo yung, using a ruler, i-measure nyo to kung anong measure nyan. Gamit ang ruler, centimeters tayo. Then, measure nyo rin to. So, measure nyo rin yan at measure nyo yan. Again, gamit ang centimeter. So, lalagyan nyo to kung ano yung naging measure nyan. And then, gamit ang protractor, i-measure nyo naman itong angle na to. Ayan, yung angle. So, I'm sure naman marunong kayong gumamit ng protractor. Okay? So, complete nyo lang yung table na yan. And then, attach nyo dun sa mga sagot nyo sa learning task 1 to 3. Okay, then a short essay, no, statements on this one. I understand that blank. And that is the end of our week 2, which is all about the application of our triangle inequality theorem and some provings of triangle inequality theorem. So thank you very much. God bless and happy learnings.